Hi crafty friends, I hope you're having a great day. I'm not going to say good morning or good afternoon because I'm not sure what time this will be posted. I'm filming it on a late afternoon on a quite a hot day in Melbourne, so I'm happy to be indoors with my cooler going in my craft room. It's in my happy place. I know that some of you are in the cold in North America, so we've got the extremes keeping us indoors, haven't we, friends? It's all good for our crafting, isn't it? So today I'm going to put together a simple double page spread, showing you really, or giving you ideas about how to start scrapbooking, where to go, and sometimes beginning a hobby or beginning something new like scrapbooking can be a little bit daunting. I want to show you that the best way and the best thing to do is to just start, and you don't need a whole craft room full of supplies to do it. So today I'm going to, because I'm scrapbooking some vintage photos of my children, quite vintage, and the colors are quite dark. I am going to use the Scrapbook Moments paper sweep. This is our latest release from Stamping Up, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's sort of Beatrix Potter-ish, which suits me because my children grew up, well, for the first 10 or so years in England. So this is quite, and we lived very near the Lakes District where Beatrix Potter was. So this is this paper suite is quite dear to my heart. So I'm just showing you the catalogue of that, but you can see that on my online store, and I'll link that in the comments if you wish to have a look at it. But you can use any papers that you've got. Just grab 3 or 4 papers, pattern papers that fit together, and I always like to start with a white base. Here's the second page, friends, so we'll just pop that away for the moment. I always like to start with a white base and then build there. I also, I guess you could say that I start first by deciding what photos I'm going to use. Now we have so many photos nowadays. I'm just going to actually move this over here so that my poor camera doesn't have a fit, because cameras don't like white for some reason, even though I love white. So decide which photos that you want to use. Now, when I took these photos, these were not digital, they were pre-digital, so I've got 3 photos from there, but they were really big. I printed them quite large. I'm not sure why, but I just did. So I actually cut these photos down, and I had to decide what I wanted to keep in. Now I know it may seem really weird, but I want to keep these boxes in. I didn't want to cut right there, and the reason was because this is the day I remember, this is the early days of when we moved to this town, and these boxes are when we're moving. So that's a reminder of when it was to me, what was going on. I know it's not very glamorous, but photos aren't always glamorous. It's a reminder of what was going on, and anyone, my children looking at this album, will see that that's when we were moving. So that's why I've kept those boxes in. Don't be frightened to trim your photos, friends. You don't need to keep absolutely everything in shot, especially the older ones that may have a lot of unnecessary things in it. But I actually like the minutiae of life as well, so I like keeping that sort of thing in. So decide on your photos. Next, gather your supplies together. So I have put together some bits and pieces that I think I might want to use. I've got Misty Moonlight stamp pad, and I've got a basic grey stamp pad. Now I'm going to use, I have decided that I'm going to use both of those colours in the actual kit. I've got a stamp block, and I've just got some embellishments. I'm going to put my scissors in there, and a few other supplies. So I've got all of those sitting on my desk next to me. I have decided which stamp set I'm going to use, or how I'm going to do a title, and I'm going to use a stamp set today. This stamp set is in the Celebration, one of the Celebration perks, that if you, up until 27th of February, I think this year, if you buy products up to $100 in Australian dollars, you can actually choose free goodies. And they're in on my online store. Again, I will link that in the comments. But this is one of the stamp sets, and I thought that was an absolutely beautiful title stamp set, so I grabbed that. So I'm going to have that. I've decided what my title is, and it's going to be from there. I've got the rest of the paper kit, and I've got the ephemera cut out. So I've got all of those things. So let's get started. And I've decided as well, I have chosen a sketch, and that's another thing we need to decide on. I'm going to bring this over because I'm going to be doing some cutting in a moment. But we also have to decide on what we're going to do, how we're going to pop the layout out. So I have lots of inspiration. Pinterest is great, but as a former close to my heart maker, I have these fabulous pattern books. So I've grabbed out what I have in my crafty stash, and I have chosen a sketch that I'm going to use, and I'm just put that to the side so that keeps in mind for me what it's going to look like. And you don't have to have a pattern book. You could look at Pinterest, you could look at Facebook. There are so many Facebook scrapbooking groups out there. I know because I belong to a lot of them. So just go on and have a look at all of the sketches. So once you've done all of that, then it's time to start putting your little pages together. So I'm just going to move those out of the way, and I'm going to show you how to mat a photo. That's the first thing. This is the second page, so we don't need to worry about that for the time being. So let's do the first page. Now I've actually chosen a sketch, and it's a good little tip if you're beginning scrapbooking. When you do a double page spread, make both of the pages exactly the same. You can change the embellishments or the layouts of the photos, but make the pattern exactly the same because it just makes it really, really simple and easy. So let's just have a look. So this one says it's 8 1/4, but I think I only did an 8. So let's do it 8 by 11. So I'm going to pop out my trimmer, and let's see if I can do this on camera. I love this trimmer. Get yourself a really good trimmer. I don't expect or don't recommend that you spend a lot of money at first, but you do need a good trimmer because you need to cut your papers straight. It's something that you are spending time on, a hobby that you will put a lot of time into, a lot of love, and you want to have things straight. I don't always have them straight, having said that, but they're boo-boos. They're not on purpose. So a great trimmer cuts the paper really well. You see here, friends, there's no fraying of the sides, any of that kind of thing with this paper. So I've cut that at 8 1/2 by 11. I'm just going to cut this one at 11 as well because we want another little piece at the side. So let's cut that. And then the instructions tell me to cut it at 2 3/4 for width in length. So I'm just going to, in width, sorry. I'm just going to cut that. Now I think that's everything cut other than the photo mat. So we'll just pop that down because I don't need that for the out. I don't need the arm out. This is a Stampin' Up trimmer, and I absolutely love it because it has centimeters on the top and inches on the bottom. Now I'm Australian, so I work in centimeters mostly, but my crafting is all in inches simply because I grew up, my scrapbooking grew up with Close to My Heart. They're American and they have inches. So and a lot of the things I look at are in inches. So what we want to do now is mat our photo. So I have decided what size it's going to be, and this is how you mat a photo. So you can mat it in, actually I'll do it properly, not to confuse you, because that wouldn't be a very good idea on the very first video, would it? So let's go across here first and let's mat this photo. So choose a solid colour if you want your photos to pop. So here, can you see the colours? They're quite dark. If I chose something like, I'm just getting out this earlier espresso, can you see the photo would be lost there, friends? So because it's a dark background, I'm going to have a light colour, and white is always one of my go-to photo mats. If that was a very, very light colour and there was a lot of white in the sky, things like that, sorry friends, I had practiced with this before, but now of course I'm on camera, it's not going to work. So what was I saying? If the photo had a lot of white in it, I would actually matte that either on black. My usual colours for matting is black or white, but you can use colour as well. That's up to you. But they're the colours that I use. So let's get up and cut this. So I have put a border, matting it has put a border around it. I don't mat every single photo I have. I mat a lot of them, but like I said, some of them I don't want matted. So there we go. And then I always put the photo on the cardstock and then I cut, just because I don't always have them exact sizes. There we go. So that's how we mat our photo. And we could then, if we wanted to double mat it, I'm not going to, but if we wanted to do that, then you could put the brown on there and it would look okay. But we're not going to do that now. Let's have a look. Let's see what's happening. We want the white base. We want to get the pattern paper, and we're going to turn this over and it matches. You see, double-sided paper is great because it tends to match. I'm just going to zoom out just a tiny bit. There we go, so we can get in frame. So these little edges, they're nice, but something that I like to make my edges pop, and it's a very, very simple technique to do, and it's something that you don't need to have extra tools for, only a dauber or a sponge or something like that. You can dip in your ink and sponge the edges, and that just gives a little something to your layout. Just a little extra, so you can do it as light or as heavy as you like. I wouldn't normally do it that heavy, but I'm just showing you the options. So let's just finish that. I was actually reminded recently of when I actually got into scrapbooking. It was nearly 20 years ago. I'd always loved photography. I'd always taken a lot of photos of my children, and I lived in England for 10 years, so I had a lot of beautiful scenery photos, and they were just sitting in boxes. I didn't really have anything to do with them. I didn't know what to do with them, sorry, until I met a lovely lady that is still my, well, I call her my forever friend. We're more like sisters than than friends. But she introduced me to scrapbooking. She was an avid scrapbooker, and she introduced me to a concept of scrapbooking, and at the time I didn't want to sort of become a consultant or anything like that. I just wanted to go to my local paper craft store, buy some papers and get started, and that's what I did. I did that for a long time. And then my friend joined close to my heart, and she asked me to join as her downline, it was. And then I had 10 wonderful years of getting together, doing workshops and making things and scrapbooking all the time, and also card making and other sorts of paper crafting. It's not just scrapbooking. There we go, friends. So I've done the 2 patterns. Can you see that? And also I have got a 3rd piece which will assemble. I'll show you how to do that. But I've got a 3rd piece, and I'm just going to take this cord away, friends, because it's really annoying me. I'm sorry. There we go. So I've edged that as well, the Misty Moonlight. So yes, where was I? Yeah, so I spent 10 years doing a lot of paper crafting, and absolutely love it, and still do to this day, even though Close to My Heart has closed and I'm now with Stampin' Up. So it's just, I love scrapbooking my photos because I love paper and ink and stamps, and so it's easy to scrapbook. Right, so we're going to put this very, very simple pattern together. So let's put, I'm doing this both sides the same. So let's put on some, I was learning how to do this today, friends, with this new adhesive. It's not working. I'm going to go back to my old adhesive. I like Stampin' Up adhesive because it is so strong. At the moment, I need to practice a lot more, and I'm not going to practice while I'm filming a video with you. I always buy the adhesive that the company that I'm a consultant or a maker or a demonstrator for, because it just makes good sense. I get a discount, friends. I'm not going to be buying adhesive from somewhere else because I use so much of it when I can get such a good discount. Okay, so we're now lining up 2 pattern papers. Can you see that, friends? We've got 2 pattern papers right next to each other. However, I have cut the tiniest little 1/2 inch strip of Misty Moonlight, which matches the paper. I have popped that in the middle, and so that breaks those 2 pattern papers up, but they do match. So then this is where my my photo is going to go, and then I'm going to put the title up the top there. So I'm not going to adhere that down yet because I'm not sure. I think actually, yes, I'm going to just pop on some ink because I can't do ink on one section and not another. And even though this is really, really fine photo matte, I'm still going to do that because I can't not. Really, it doesn't look right to me. But your scrapbook pages are yours. So this is quite a simple layout, simple pattern. You do what you do. Okay. So I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to add a little bit more to that. But first I'm going to stamp my title so that I actually know what I'm doing. So I know where to put it. So we're going to just get the title here. And I'm going to put day in last because that's the largest stamp. Now I have not used this before, so I'm just going to stamp it off a few times before I actually use it, because it'll give a better impression if I do it that way, I think. Maybe not. I know that Stampin' Up's stamps leave really... Oh, I don't think I'll need to. It is inking up beautifully. The ink pads are just so juicy. So I'm going to just stamp that off. There we go. There's only a little bit, so we don't need to worry too much. It's just I actually really like that. Gosh, I really like that. Okay. I'm not going to be able to replicate that at all, am I? Oh dear, accidents mean sometimes that it's better than what you think it's going to be. So I'm going to do this at the end. Here we go. So I'm just lining it up like that and plonk. And just leave it there for a couple of seconds. You don't have to leave it there for long. And then I'm going to lift it up. Oh, perfect. but I did like the other side a lot. That happy accident. Now I'm going to, so that's day, and I think documenting the day is what I want. Now does that fit there? No, so it's going to be there. I'm going to pop it there, and I'm going to use a different ink. I'm going to use the blue ink. Now if I had thought ahead, I would have got a different size stamp, because I like, when I do my stamping, I like to have a similar size block to the stamp, but that's okay because you might not have that many blocks. There you go, documenting the day. That's perfect. That's a really, really nice sentiment. So we're going to get rid of all of that, pop it away so that I can't see it anymore. I'm going to leave out the Misty Moonlight because I think I might edge that, and I'm going to put the basic grey away. So what I do need to do is just cut this off a little bit so that we've got the title ready to go. Now I know this video is going to be a bit longer, friends. I don't think I'll do the second page with you on camera. I think I will just post that on my Facebook page. I just wanted to show you step by step how to put together a layout. So let's have a look at that. What's happened? Oh, I know what's happened. See there? It's got onto the other side, and it's made it a little bit frayed, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. Now I'm just going to move this down a little bit. I don't want to mess up this title now that I've got it the way I like it. There we go. Perfect. Fantastic. Documenting the day. So hopefully we will not need that trimmer anymore. So documenting the day. There we go. I think I'm going to edge this just with a tiny little bit. There we go. I don't need much, just a little bit, just tiny. And I've got the two different colours on there anyway, so that just adds a little, that's another way to add a little bit more interest, is just add a little bit of different colour. These things you can do quite simply with very, very few tools. Documenting the day. You could leave it like that, friends. Absolutely leave it that way. But I don't think I will. I do have a few more items, a few more tools. What would this be like if I added, oh gosh, I really like that. And pop documenting the day there and add just that tiny, another piece of paper. So this plaid is also in the coordinating cardstock, and it's called Timeless Plaid 6x6 papers. And I'm not actually going to ink the edges of that because I don't need to. So I'm just, that's building patterns is something I like to do as well, but you don't need to. So just omit this step if you're following along with me and you don't want to, that's fine. So let's just pop on, and you don't need to pop on a heap of adhesive, just a good adhesive, and just stick it down. Documenting the day, I'm going to just pop on, so we're not going to go overboard in embellishing or any of that kind of thing. Now there's a couple of things that I have that I just want to show you. To embellish, a way to embellish. So there's a few, if you buy a paper pack like this, and not every one of them has it, but if you buy a paper pack like this, it has images that you can cut out, and a lot of paper packs have images like that. So we don't want that, do we, friends? Because we're not going to do that. side just yet. I'm going to post that on my Facebook page for you, because I don't want you to be here forever, and I'm sure you don't want to be here forever, friends. So in this paper pack, it has this little sheet of veggies. Now we're eating dinner, so that's on theme, and it's got that vintage vibe. So what I actually did, friends, I got my little snips and I cut up out of this. I just cut up some little veggies. Okay, so that's giving me at no extra cost. It's actually giving me some little embellishments that I can scatter around. And in that same paper pack, if you order this, Stampin' Up actually has a lot of ephemera and little die cuts and things. They do ephemera really well. So this is a little die cutting sheet with little animals, and I'm just wondering if I want any of those. Oh, I love that little teacup actually. So there's two sheets of these die cuts, and so I'm going to just take out the little mouse because that's super cute to me, and I'm just going to do some simple embellishing. I'm going to use some tags that I have previously cut out, and I'll let you know what little oh, look at that. I'll let you know where they come from. Look at that, friends. Perfect. That's exactly where that belongs. And it's not a lot. It won't take up much of your time. You can spend as little or as much time embellishing as you like. It's completely up to you. Sometimes I'm in the mood to just do a really simple page like this. Other times I want to embellish heavy and spend a lot of time. Now I'm going to maybe just up here pop in a few bits and pieces, and maybe these tomatoes. Nope, that's too much. I'm going to add these. There we go, and I might, so that can go underneath there. Then the carrots can sort of go here. And what do we need? I think we need a cauliflower, don't we? There we go, we need a cauliflower. Now on the opposite side, I will put another embellishment cluster with these things so that we've got a visual triangle. So I'll have that one, and then on the other page I will have one on this side so that they match. So that's it. I'm going to leave that because it's very it is very simple, but it's showing you some techniques that you can replicate, and it hasn't taken me a very long time. It's actually, this video is going to be about 30 minutes long, but this is because I was explaining more to you. If you start simple, you gather your supplies together, you choose your photos, you cut your photos down and mat them, and then choose a sketch from anywhere, or even just lay some paper on other bits of paper. That's it, done. You've done your first scrapbooking page, friends. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little video showing you what perhaps the possibilities that you can do to scrapbook your own memories. If you've got any comments or any questions, reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, friends, happy crafting. Bye.